Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is the week of August 18th, the 32nd week of 2025. As a reminder, BusinessTravel360.com is a great resource to take advantage of for everything business travel. Here you can listen to great podcasts, take advantage of bonus points and status match offers, and even watch some videos. Check all of this out at BusinessTravel360.com. Now, let's get to the headlines. Airfares and hotel rates for corporate travel have stabilized this year, and companies are getting better discounts on negotiated airfares. This is according to a report published by Emirates Travel Analytics. The report, based on corporate travel data from Emirates on a 12-month average basis through April 2025, shows an average market airfare of $724. The average negotiated airfare, however, was $602, down by almost 5% year over year. That widened the gap between negotiated and market airfares to almost 17%, up 4% points year over year. For domestic travel, the average negotiated economy fare for the period was $406, compared with an average market fare of $459, and negotiated rates made up 93% of domestic bookings. On international flights, the average negotiated airfare was $646, compared with an average market fare of $710, and almost 60% of bookings used negotiated pricing. For hotels, the average book daily rate for corporate travelers during the 12-month period was up almost 1.5% points to $209, a nearly 21% discount off the average market rate of $264. Cities with the largest growth year over year in room nights for the period included Bengaluru, up almost 40%, Boston 23%, New York 21%, and San Francisco up 20%. Delta Airlines is back in the top spot for July North American on-time performance for the first time since March. This is according to a report from Cirium. Delta Airlines has dominated rankings in 2024, coming in first every month except for July. In July, the on-time performance was 77%, up 1.5% points month over month. Spirit Airlines held steady in second place at 76.7%, an increase of almost 1%. Alaska Airlines rounded out the top three at 75%, an increase of 1.1%. Overall, July North American on-time performance, however, dipped 1.5% points to 71.8%. The airlines with the largest declines included JetBlue, down 5.5%, Air Canada, down 5.4%. Frontier Airlines at 65% returned to the list in last place after not qualifying last month. None of the North American airlines made it to Cirium's global list of on-time performance, which in July was led by Aeromexico at almost 90%. A flight is considered to be on time if it arrives at the gate within 15 minutes of its scheduled arrival time. Air Canada's flight attendants reached an agreement ending the first strike by its cabin in 40 years that had upended travel plans for hundreds of thousands of passengers. The strike, which lasted nearly 4 days, had led the airline that serves about 130,000 people daily to withdraw its third quarter and full-year earnings guidance. The airline said it will gradually resume operations, and a full restoration may be requiring a week or so, while the union said it has completed mediation with the airline and its low-cost affiliate, Air Canada Rogue. Air Canada said that some flights will be canceled over the next 7 to 10 days until the schedule is stabilized, and that customers with canceled flights can choose between a refund, travel credit, or rebooking. Air Canada's flight attendants had walked off the job last Saturday after contract talks with the airline had failed. They had sought pay for tasks such as boarding passengers. While details of the negotiations were not immediately released, the union did say unpaid work was over. The U.S. Department of Justice has sided with the U.S. Department of Transportation on a tentative decision to withdraw approval of the joint venture and antitrust immunity between Delta Airlines and Aeromexico. The DOT, by statute, must allow the DOJ to weigh in on any change or any cancellation of airline antitrust immunity, though authority to remove immunity remains with the DOT. The DOJ said in a filing that the DOT had conducted a rigorous evaluation of the competitive effects of the joint venture, consistent with its authority and its public interest mandate to consider competitive market forces and impact for actual and potential competition in its tentative decision to withdraw immunity. The airline had received approval for the JV back in 2016. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. Spirit Airlines warned it could be forced to halt operations within a year if its balance sheet does not improve. In an August 11th filing, Spirit said it intends to take additional measures to bolster its liquidity, potentially including sales of aircraft, real estate, and access gate capacity. Spirit reported a second quarter net loss of $245 million, a $184 million operating loss, and a dismal operating margin of minus 18%. Spirit said that there was a weak domestic leisure market demand and a challenging pricing environment in Q2, and it expects that to continue through for the remainder of the year. Spirit noted steps taken to reduce costs and improve revenue, including an upcoming furlough of 270 pilots, the introduction of retrofitted cabins with 7 rows of extra legroom seats, and the sale and leaseback of spare engines. Despite these efforts, Spirit said that its debt obligations and credit card processing agreement require financial results to improve at a rate faster than the company is anticipating. Frontier Airlines, Spirit's main competitor among low-cost airlines, expects Spirit's demise. The Department of Transportation announced an updated process for travelers to file air travel-related complaints. According to the DOT, the complaint system previously relied on technology from the 1990s, which slowed the process for airlines and ticket agents to receive copies of the complaint and work towards its resolution. The new system, which users can access online, will automatically notify relevant parties once a complaint is filed. The DOT said that the new system also improves data and privacy protection for users. Hawaiian Airlines in November will suspend flights between Honolulu and 3 destinations due to underperformance. The airline's service between Honolulu and Boston and Japan will end on November 19th. The routes have been operating 4 times and 3 times weekly respectively. The 5 times weekly flight between Honolulu and Seoul will also end on November 21st. Affected travelers will be offered reaccommodation on other flights or receive a refund. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. U.S. Bank Corp, the parent company of U.S. Bank, will acquire TravelBank, a fintech offering all-in-one travel and expense management solutions. The company announced the acquisition in a news release saying that the deal is expected to close in the fourth quarter of the year. Financial terms were not released. Based in San Francisco, TravelBank helps businesses track expenses, automate processes, ensure compliance, and streamline reporting and approval. Based on the release, TravelBank's platform lets companies avoid using paper-based and manual reporting and travel systems, automating this work and tailoring it to the company's unique needs. U.S. Bank said that the acquisition will allow it to accelerate integration of digital payments in the commercial segment. Last month, U.S. Bank said it was considering offering more payment services. In a presentation to analysts, the bank said out of 1.1 million of its business, just 28%, or 308,000, used payment systems. Service apartment providers SilverDoor and Synergy Global Housing have agreed to merge operations and plan to function as a single entity in early 2026. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. The deal will help fuel growth for both the UK-based SilverDoor and the US-based Synergy, which will operate its service apartments and other corporate housing options under the name Synergy by SilverDoor. Founded in 2000, SilverDoor works with a network of more than 2,600 global property operators to source accommodations for business travel and mobility professionals worldwide. Synergy, founded in 1999, said that it offers housing in more than 2,000 cities worldwide. United Airlines Ventures, the corporate venture arm of United, has taken an equity stake in Dfinitiv, a loyalty commerce and media technology specialist. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, but the airline is exploring use cases of Dfinitiv's technology across its loyalty program, Mileage Plus, and its commerce media network, Connective Media, which was unveiled a year ago. Dfinitiv, which was founded in 2022, offers a commerce experience platform called Smart CXP that helps brands make personalized offers and drive loyalty, and SmartLink, described as an engine connecting user context and intent to optimize in-app, web, and on-screen experiences. United Airlines also participated in a $16 million round for blockchain technology startup BlockSky early this year. More recently, the venture arm invested in voice and conversational artificial intelligence startup Iola. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. Airbnb is offering travelers in the United States a reserve now, pay later option, aiming to offer guests more flexibility and hosts more stays. The short-term rental giant tested the payment tool in the U.S. earlier this summer. When the trial period began, some vacation rental community members voiced concern about an increased risk of empty nights and reliable booking confirmations. However, others said that the tool may allow Airbnb property managers to compete with online travel agencies. The Reserve Now, Pay Later option allows travelers to book eligible domestic stays, those with moderate or flexible cancellation policies, for $0 upfront. Guests will still be required to pay before the end of the listing's free cancellation period, and hosts will still be able to select their own cancellation policy. Hosts will also receive payouts in accordance to their regular cancellation policy timeline, regardless of the guest's chosen flexible payment method. Unlike larger discounters, Spirit and Frontier, Allegiant Air is making money these days because of its business model for primarily flying city pairs that no other airline serves. But like those competitors, Allegiant too has leaned into the industry-wide premium trend. This quarter, the Las Vegas-based airline expects 2/3 of its flights to be with planes that offer extra legroom product called Allegiant Extra. By the end of the year, 70% of Allegiant's fleet will have the extra legroom seats. Ultimately, Allegiant expects to have the extra seats at the front of its entire fleet of Boeing MAX and Airbus A320 aircrafts. Effective October 1st, Emirates will prohibit the use of all power banks aboard its flights, citing enhanced safety measures following a comprehensive risk review. While passengers may still carry one power bank under 100 watt-hours, those devices may neither be used to charge personal electronics nor be recharged via the aircraft's power supply. Accepted power banks must display their capacity rating, be stored in a seat pocket or under a seat bag, and remain out of checked bags. The move addresses a growing number of lithium-based battery incidences that occurred across the aviation industry. By banning its in-flight use and ensuring devices are stored within easy reach, Emirates aims to enable cabin crew to respond swiftly in the rare case of a fire. The airline emphasized the safety remains a core value, with continuous measures in place to protect passengers and crew. Google has unveiled Flight Deals, an artificial-based power search tool to help travelers save money. In a blog post announcing the launch, Google said that travelers describe when, where, and how they want to travel, replacing more traditional date, origin, and destination formats. Users will get results based on what they asked for, as well as some destinations that they may not have considered. What makes Flight Deals unique is that it uses Google's advanced AI to understand the nuances of what you're looking for and identify matching destinations. It'll tap into real-time Google Flight data quickly to show you relevant, up-to-date options from hundreds of airlines and booking sites. Flight Deals, which excludes basic economy fares, is currently in beta and will roll out to the United States, Canada, and India in the coming days. Early this year, Google announced a series of other AI updates to its travel products, including a price tracking feature for hotels and AI overviews for travel planning. Google Maps was also updated with a screenshot capability, which uses Gemini to find and highlight places on the map that users may have saved in screenshots. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.